So me and that man were together. Thank you, Ray. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Catholic High School Athletic Association for this very unexpected and incredible honor, and I would also like to congratulate my fellow nominees. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame is truly humbling. Thank you to those that nominated me. Your respect for my career means so much to me. Thank you to my athletic directors, Ralph Dalton and Lorraine Buchlas, as well as the principal at the time of my hiring, Walter Lace. These three took a giant chance on me. I was a lost 38-year-old looking to change my life, and the three of you not only gave me that opportunity, but you also guided me through my transformation. Thank you to our current school principal, Mr. Albrecht, our two vice principals, Mr. Veneziano, Mr. Mortarelli, our athletic office secretary, Lenore Dunn, our athletic trainer, Teresa Nips, my former assistant coaches, who were also my former athletes that are here, Mike Petrina, Eric Maurer, Garth Joseph, and Gabe Campos, and my cross-country and track and field coaching colleagues, many of whom have already been inducted into this Hall of Fame, who all came here tonight to celebrate with all of us. And I have to add a couple of surprises that I have. I have a family in the back, the Guerreras. I had no idea they were coming. Jimmy Carney, who is also a member of this Hall of Fame, whose daughter ran for me, and Eugene Healy, all surprised me tonight, which makes it just that much more gratifying. So my family is and always has been the most important thing to me. As I look back at my time at St. John the Baptist, it's not the team championships nor the individual champions that come to mind first. Excuse me. It is what my time at SJB has done for me and my family. It changed our lives, and me personally for the better. When I took the job, my son Tom was in 9th grade and running cross country and track at a school just a few miles away from SJB. It was not long before my team and his team were training together. What a gift for me to be able to spend that time with Tom, and that helped to change our relationship for the better. My daughter Melissa came to SJB and also ran on the cross country and track teams. To say this made us a little closer is an understatement. We traveled to and from school together. I'm hesitating because I just realized I forgot a whole section of my speech. And I'm going to have to jump to that because I talk about them there. My family, who I'm talking about now, my two children, Tom and Melissa, their spouses, Ryan and Louise, are here. My wife, who, yes, for 40 years, right, believe it or not, Anne-Marie. Without your sacrifice, trust, and love, my journey would not have landed me here tonight, and I'll go back to where I just left off. My daughter, Melissa, came to SJB and also ran cross country and track. To say this made us closer is an understatement. We traveled to and from school together, spent the afternoons together, then spent all day Saturdays at competitions together. Again, what a gift for me. And those gifts kept on giving as both Tom and Melissa spent time coaching with me after college. Melissa also met her husband at SJB, and they blessed us with two wonderful grandchildren, Noah and Ava, SJB class of 2036 and 2037. Continue. Then there's my wife, Anne-Marie, who went from team mom on weekends to coach Anne-Marie for the last few years of my coaching career. Watching Anne-Marie get fully invested in the kids on the team and knowing that I have ended my career with my wife being to fully understand what I have been doing and why I have been working so hard at a, quote, part-time job is the final highlight of my career. All the track coaches in the room can confirm that coaching cross-country and track and field is not for the faint of heart. First, you have the kids that come out for the team, of which about 20 or 30% are returning athletes, if you're lucky. Another 10 to 20% have been convinced by a friend that they should try it. Another 20% or so are looking for a place to belong, and the rest have absolutely no idea why they are there. In fact, when you say that we will be running a practice today, they look at you confused and demand to know why.
It's so true.
Most of these kids are on the team because their parents told them they could not come home until after 5. So we are afternoon babysitters. Somehow, we are tasked to form that group of teenagers into a team that really wants to be there and are willing to work hard to make themselves and their team better. And somehow, we all do that every season and every year. And that's why I say congratulations to the other track and field coaches here. All right, how does a coach become a coach that he or she is? I believe it has a lot to do with what they have experienced over their lifetime and what they have learned from their mentors, which others have said tonight. I have been extremely fortunate over the course of my life to have had great bosses and mentors. As a high school student, I worked in a deli. This is where I learned to enjoy working hard. My boss, George, saw something in me, trusted me, and helped me to understand that I had value, and I never forgot that. And as I coached, I often reminded myself that I am now George, and I worked very hard to make sure all my athletes graduated from my teams understanding that they had value. My next boss, Tony, was my manager of Prudential Financial Services. Like George, Tony recognized something in me and took me under his wing. He trusted me enough to promote me to sales manager within my first year. Tony taught me the importance of teamwork, having goals, and leading by example. Tony also taught me that another person's perception of you or situation is their reality, whether it's the truth or not. To put this into context for you, I am extremely shy and very anxious when I'm around others. Tony pointed out to me that when we were at company gatherings with others not from our office, many saw me as conceited and unfriendly, even though I am the total opposite of that. I swear, I really am. It was a great lesson for me to learn for that business, and it was an even better lesson for me to have once I got into coaching. Last page. I left Prudential to coach at St. John's the Baptist, which makes my next boss Ralph Dalton, SJB's Boys Athletic Director and inductee to this Hall of Fame last year. Ralph offered me the job on the spot, which confused me. I had just told him that I had very little experience coaching, but I thought I might enjoy it because I had found my way back in the running again. I really had no experience and did not expect him to offer me the job. I asked him why he offered me the job, and he said he could feel my enthusiasm for running, and he did not feel that from any of the others that he had interviewed. When I accepted, Ralph's number one piece of advice to me was to make sure I always had a plan for practice, because if I just winged it, the kids would figure that out and never trust or follow me. The next year, Lorraine Buchlis, the girls' athletic director, asked me to take over the girls' team. And a year after that, the principal, Walter Lace, hired me as a permanent sub so I could be at SJB full-time. Together, Ralph, Lorraine, and Wally taught me how important having a true love for our school community is. They led by example every day and always had my back, and the backs of any of their employees or students when they needed it. The crazy thing to me is that when I accepted the coaching position at St. John the Baptist, I only planned on coaching for one season across country. I chose to stay because I saw the opportunity to help each of my student athletes become the best person they could be and have an even better future than they knew they could have. Ironically, it was those athletes who helped me to develop into a much better person and to enjoy an even better and meaningful future than I knew I could have. The last thing I could ever have imagined was that I'd be standing up here tonight giving this speech to all of you as a member of the CHSAA Hall of Fame 25 years later. To quote the Grateful Dead, what a long, strange trip it's been. Thank you again for this great honor, and thank you for listening. Yeah.